It's Friday. We're gonna talk about what's sold. Yeah, it's Friday. I hope you sold something too. Ah, yes, I really, really do. It's Friday.
Hi. Here we go again. It is Friday. So we're going to talk about some things that sold in my store. I kind of had a rough week. I had some weird things happen on eBay, you know, such is life. As I always say, you take the good, you take the bad, take them both. And there you have the facts of life, ladies and gentlemen. But I'll get into that. But the main part of this video, as you know, on Fridays, is I am going to tell you what the item is, how much I paid for it, how much it sold for, and then how much the net profit is after we back out any fees and the cost of goods, because I like to be real transparent with my numbers. It's funny how some people think, you know, oh, you spent $1 on it and you made 100. No, I had to back out the fees and all that too. So, and time is money, and we resellers spend some time selling things. So enough of the babbling here. Okay, so my problem was that I sold 2 sets of silverware in one day. It's not unusual. And I don't think I'm a dummy, but that day I was a dummy. And I swapped them. I sent one set over here and one set over here, and they should have been switcheroo. Did the switcheroo. I'm embarrassed about it. I feel like that's a rookie mistake, and I am not a rookie, but when you think about just the huge number of things that I'm sending out, I guess it's bound to happen. It's only happened to me twice in my 7 years of being a reseller, so I got to give myself some kind of grace on it, but I do. I feel really bad. How it turned out was that both ladies were very, very nice. Both said they were going to send them back, but only one did. And that gal, I would like to get her silverware to her because she was great and fast with all of her actions. But this gal, she just won't send it back. She said she was gonna, but she's not gonna. So I also called eBay because my problem was I was getting notices that I had to refund the gal that sent them back to me. And I asked the gal on the line, her name was Donna. I think she was maybe even being trained because I could hear someone in the background kind of coaching her. And I wish I would have talked to that person because I kept asking, is eBay going to automatically refund that money to her? Because I don't want to refund her. I want to send her back the silverware when I get it. Still haven't got it. But anyway, and she kept telling me, no, we're not going to automatically refund her. This morning, I woke up to a lovely notice saying that they've already automatically refunded her. And I got a ding because I didn't refund her in a timely manner. So it's just annoying and frustrating. So I do have one set back, and I'm not going to send them to the other gal until she sends the other ones in. Thankfully, my first customer who did the good deed, she's being very understandable and nice. I thank her very much. And hopefully I don't get terrible feedback or anything from any of this. But so that was one of the problems. The other one will be coming up in here. So the first item we're going to talk about, oops, hold on just a sec. I'm going to be right back. Okay, told you so. I'll be right back. I'm back. All right, the first item that I sold is a beautiful St. John Evening maxi skirt, high-low hem, Santana knit. Gorgeous. I got it for $4.69. It sold for $75, giving me $59.46, and that one took 4 months to sell. Kind of perfect timing because I think people are gearing up for their holiday parties, what they're going to wear for all of those shindigs. So, all right, this is maybe my favorite one, this next one here. This is an antique Victorian, maybe Edwardian mourning brooch. It has 3 portraits on it. Beautiful pin, and it was in a beautiful presentation box. I actually got this for free from a neighbor who was doing a clear out, and when I saw it I thought, you know, I'm gonna put that in my pile because why not? I'll research it later. And when I looked it up I said, ooh, these are good. So I did get $85 for it. I accepted an offer, and that gave me $73.05, and it only took 2 weeks to sell. So I will definitely pick one of those up if I see it again. Right, now this next little ditty here, it's kind of hard to tell in the picture, but what this is, it's a souvenir from Korea. It's a traditional Korean gold crown, but it's in a little, what do you call that, lucite? It's in a cube of clearness. And so it's a little display, and it came in this really cool box. I got it for $4.19, and it sold for $23, giving me $14.91, and that took 8 months to go. Alrighty, now these are, well, they're little science kits for your kids to do at home. Got these at the beginning of the summer. They're brand new, still sealed in their plastic. I got the whole shebang, 8 of them, 8 boxes here for $4. Great deal. Figured I'd give them a try because I've sold other kits like this, just not this brand. But this one did sell for $55. That gave me $42.28, and it took 3 months for that one to go. And I kind of thought it would sell over the summer for people wanting educational things for their kids to do over the summer, but it sold nonetheless. All right, now this cutie here, I almost kept him. This is a vintage 1999 Toad Hollow, brown toad, cutest little face ever. He was $3.05. I sold him for $33, and that gave me $24.55, and that took 6 weeks to sell. Because, you know, I can't keep all the frogs and all the toads, or I'll be like Frog Woman, and that's, I mean, I like frogs, but I'm not Frog Woman. Okay, anyway, moving on. This is another one from actually that same neighbor of Clear Out. This is a set of 6 really tall shot glasses. They're about yay, and they had etchings on them of African animals. It was a very pretty set. So I got this one for free. It sold for $40, and that gave me $33.49, and that took 9 months to sell. Okay, nuts, more nuts. So another 2-pack of the Hampton Farms Honey Roasted Peanuts did sell. I accepted an offer for $45 on these. Oops, I made them for $8.50, and that gave me $29.55, and that took 5 months to sell. I am down to 5 bags of that great hero find. Hopefully the rest of them will go soon. Sorry, I got a little itcheroni here. Okay, done. Next up, this is a really neat, gosh, I remember going to friends' houses and they had fixtures like this. This was a Delta brass ornate, I don't think it was like carved or anything, but it was molded in some way. It had real neat design all over it. I got it for free from my sister-in-law. Jonathan went over and did some projects for her, so she paid him by giving us this really good crate of stuff. There's some vintage lighting in there too that I hope will sell soon. So I got this one for free, minus Jonathan's work. So probably, you know, $1,000 worth of work to Jonathan. It sold for $38, and that gave me $31.24, and it took 3 months for that to sell. All right, a piece of clothing. This is a Carhartt fire resistant. They're not fireproof, they're fire resistant. It's a long sleeve Henley shirt. Got it for $2. Sold for $25, and that gave me $18.85, and that took 2 weeks to go. All right, now here's another bothersome thing. This was part of that lot of all of the drawer pulls, brass drawer pulls that I got long ago. And, well, they sold. I took an offer for $17. They got there real quick, and then I got a really upset message from my buyer saying that the screws had been cut and they were not long enough to even go through the face of the drawer, which I'm not sure why I didn't notice that. That is, I mean, it's a good lesson. I may go through the rest of them, make sure all the rest of them are long enough, but these were not good. They demanded a refund and said, you know, these were useless, and it was a little aggressive in their message. So I did refund them immediately. So I'm out the $17, out my 50 cents, and out the shipping as well. So I'm in the negative on this transaction. And you know, that does happen sometimes, but you can see here they did leave me positive feedback, which is really nice of them. I was actually expecting the opposite. But of course, you know, I sent them a message back just saying, I'm really sorry that I overlooked that. I should have had that measurement in the photos. And I think what I'll do is go through the rest of them and just add a photo to each one with the measurement of the screws. And these are, I mean, hopefully they will find some screws, and now they have free bail pulls to add to them. So I'm just letting you know that this happened, because things like this do happen. And hopefully if you're listing some of these, throw that measurement in there too, so people will know. Because actually, if I would have had it disclosed, then I wouldn't have had to refund him anything. I would have said, well, that was in the description. So yeah. Moving on. All right, this is a beautiful vintage Burt Yellen for Iris. It was a nightgown with a little shawl piece. Real cute. Got it for just $2. It sold for $50, which was great. And that gave me $40.40, and that took 3 months to sell. Burt Yellen. All right, now we all remember these, don't we? Maybe you don't. Maybe you're younger than me. But these are wall tiles that were mirrors, and they're 12 by 12, just square tiles. These didn't have any kind of decoration on them. No gold crinkle. They're just the plain. But I figured they'd be worth a shot anyway at just $3. And I was right. They sold for $35, and that gave me $25.62. And it just took 2 weeks for those to go. Brand new in their package. Yeah, that was a good one. All right, this was my big sale of the week. These are, you may remember, I got these at a church sale a few months ago. When was it? It was in May. So right at the beginning of sale season. It's 3. They look like twig style reindeer. And they ended up being actually a set from the Pottery Barn. And I got them for just $2, which was fabulous. They sold for $200. And but I lost some money on the shipping. I lost $13.40 in the shipping, but I'm okay with that. My profit was still $156, and they took 3 months to go. And that was a big surprise because they didn't look like much, but the detail on them was what intrigued me. So I went ahead and picked them up, and I'm so glad I trusted my gut. And somebody once told me that you don't find anything good at a church sale. It's all kids' clothes and things. And I would love to find that person and be like, this is what I got at a church sale. So how about that? Okay. Next up here, this was a real cute vintage handmade maxi skirt. It wasn't a patchwork, but it was patchwork print. It was only $1, so I figured I'd give it a shot, and it sold for $30. That was great. And this one gave me $24.20, and it just took 2 weeks to sell. So again, trusting my gut. Maybe I do know what I'm doing, even though that switcheroo snafu it just makes me feel bad. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to try to get over it here. Next up, this one, this was my final little pile of Florida tile. I got a case of Florida tile for $5. So I divvied them into 10 tile lots, and so I'm into each 10 tile lots for 80 cents. And this was my final one, sold for full price, which is great, $75. And that gave me $63.94. And it did take a whole year to sell, but I mean, it was really easy for me to just have that case sitting there in my inventory on a shelf, and I just pull out the 10, wrap them up, get them gone. There we go. Keep your eye out for Florida tile. They do better than other tiles. Like I said, I'm not totally sure why, but it's a desirable tile. All right, more clothes. This is 2 Prana open front layering pieces. I got these for $9. They sold for $36, and that gave me $21.21, and it took 4 months for those to go. Again, perfect time for these. People want to start getting their fall wardrobe together. All right, now here's something that I kind of just always pick up if it's empty because it's good memories for me. My grandparents had these. This is a Bates list finder address book. So what you're seeing here, if you haven't seen these, it's metal, and you run that little shooter up and down the sides. You pick the letter you want. So if you want to call Amy, you put it on the A's, and you hit the button, and it pops open, and there it is, right there in the A's. They're real neat. I don't know. Like I said, just always jogs my memory. It was, how much did I pay for this guy? $1.60. So yeah, I'm going to pick that up. Totally brand new. No names were in it at all, which is necessary. So someone can use this. It sold for $18, and that gave me $13.16, and it took 6 months to sell. They always sell for me. I mean, it's never huge money, but like I said, I like keeping them out there in the world. Alrighty, now this little guy, when I saw him, I didn't love it because you learned a couple videos ago that I have an irrational fear of mice. So whether this is a mouse, a rat, whatever, yeah, my ankles are tingling just looking at his picture. This was a little art piece. The artist was Effenberger, and it was just so well done. I knew that there would be something to this, and I'm glad I trusted my gut. I paid $3 for it. It was in a frame, so there was a square mark on there from the map. But I disclosed that. It's in all the pictures and noted. Somebody bought it for $45, so that little rat did me right. And my profit was $35.05. Real happy with that. That one took 2 months to sell. And I even did, I tucked them away so I couldn't see them all the time because I don't like the vermin. All right, it's 3 fittings for a kerosene lamp. 2 of them were duplex, and the other one was some other brand. I apologize, I do not remember what the other brand was, but it's just the brass fitting, so how easy is that, right? I don't have to worry about shipping the hurricane glass or any part of that, just this part. They actually went international too. I got them for $11.31. They sold for $80, which gave me $56.99, and it only took 3 months to sell. And like I said, super easy to ship. Just wrap some paper in there, cushioned them up, sent them on their way. All right, this is a beautiful Arella, vintage Arella leather. My gosh, the leather on this was so soft. I've never I am not familiar with whatever kind of leather that is. It was very soft, had studs, nice Western detailing. I got this one at I went to the thrift store. I got it for $6.47 and it sold for $59, giving me a profit of $43.96, and it only took a month for that to sell. So I'm happy with that pickup there. But yeah, I went to a thrift store. It hardly ever happens, but I did. Yeah. It makes me think of that kid asking me, do you know what thrifting is? Yes, I do. Do you know what thrifting is? Let me know down below. All right, now next up here, this is a DVD and a tube of some cream. It was the Optiva Nano Silver Cream. I got this little set for $2. It was brand new and sealed. Always check that when you're buying creams and potions and such. I had the seal when you unscrewed the cap on that. Sold for $25, and that gave me $18.84, and it took 5 months for that to sell. Okay, this is one of my favorites here. We have, well, unfortunately, she did pass away this year. I did hear. But this gal, her name's Gretchen Larson, and she's a fabulous artist. She lived and worked in the town just right next door to me. And I love her stuff. She makes these mugs that are anthropomorphic, and they have the cutest little faces on them. They're called people pots. She also does vases and jugs, all kinds of things with these people pots, and they're just so cool. I do find them at yard sales kind of often. They're usually $1 a piece for the mugs, and that's what these were. So I'm into these for $2, and I accepted an offer for $75 for both of them, and that gave me $62.21, and it just took 2 weeks for those to sell. They always sell for me. I do like them an awful lot. At some point, I'm going to find one that I want to keep. I would like to find one of the larger vases, a jug, something bigger. Yes. Okay, next up here, this is the Baraxo soap dispenser. So you remember I sold the soap for good money. Now I sold the dispenser for good money too. This one I got for $1. It sold for $46, and that gave me $37.71, and it took 10 days for that to sell. I'm not sure why I didn't list this when I listed the soap, but I didn't. So I got it listed and it sold. That's how that works. Get things out of your pile. All right, here's some more tile. And like I said before, the Florida tile is really good. These are not necessarily as good, but they're a brand new Monarch tile in this great baby blue color. And you know how I feel about that. People are always redoing older homes and they need to match stuff. So I like selling stuff like this just to help people find what they need for their project. So I paid $2 for these. They sold for $25, and that gave me $18.19, and it took 3 weeks for those to go. All right, now here is a sweater. Again, it's the perfect time for sweaters to start selling. Actually, I'm ready to list. I bought a bin full of cashmere sweaters, so they're going to be up on my store pretty soon here. I don't think I showed those in a video. Sorry about that, but you're going to see them as they start selling, so how about that? All right, so this one, the label, it was black for Saks Fifth Avenue. 100% cashmere, and I got it for $4.43. It sold for $34, and that gave me $24.25, and that took 2 months to sell. All right, and then another this one was an unnamed. It's a no-name sweater, vintage sweater. It's gonna be sweater weather here pretty soon. I got it for 50 cents, and it sold for $22, and that gave me $17.76, and it took 10 months for that one to go. Yeah, I need to get all those cashmere sweaters listed immediately. All right, now this is it's a pack of paper. It's by Epson, as you can see there. But what this is, it's watercolor paper that you use in a specialized printer to do kind of like a giclée print for art. I don't know, it's brand new. I wanted to give it a try because it was just going to be so easy. Photo of the front, photo of the back, get the details, get done. So I got it. I think I paid too much for it. I paid $11 and sold for $30. So that gave me $13.80, and it took 5 months to sell. But if I do see this again for a lower price, I would definitely do 5 and under and purchase this again if it were brand new. So there you go. All right, the last item on the Poshmark. This is a Cotopaxi messenger bag. And that one, let's see here. I lucked out. I got, remember I sold the other Cotopaxi bag real quick too. I got the 2 of them for $20. So I'm into this one for 10. Sold for $74, which gave me $49.20. And it only took a week to sell. I mean, that Cotopaxi stuff just flies out is what it does. So that is it. That's all we're going to talk about today. I would love it if you could tell me something really cool that you sold this week, or tell me what your favorite thing was that I sold. Tell me if you've ever done the switcheroo before, because that's a real bummer. I'm not happy about that. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about that. But yeah, that's it. So anyway, gosh, it's Friday. Tomorrow we're hitting that same yard sale again, Donna's yard sale. We're gonna see what else I can find. And so I'm gonna see you on Monday, and you'll get to see what I find too. So thank you so much for watching. Get out there this weekend and find something good. And if you're shipping something, don't do the switcheroo. Send it to the right people.